The House of the Spirits is sort of an amazing novel by Isabel Allende. It's a universal novel. It's an international bestseller, and I think it's proven its universality by its success since 1982. I read it when I was in high school, and it's one of those texts that has always stayed with me. I adore it. I was so moved by it. I'm moved by its sense of magic, by its sense of play, by its metaphors, which I think are still resonant for us. I'm inspired by what Allende was able to accomplish and how she was able to look inside herself, and I think sort of look inside the Latin American soul to talk about something that's questions of violence and questions of history, which I think still haunt us. And sort of the beauty of this text is something that I think has inspired so many people and makes it a powerful novel to adapt to the stage. After the Hollywood version, I felt that there were two things that were missing in how the story was adapted previously. I wanted to find the sense of the Latin American experience in it, which in the movie is like Jeremy Irons and Meryl Streep and Glenn Close were all pretty amazing, but it had a very European feel. And we lost the sense of, I think, truth and the sense of its source. So my hope is sort of like, personally, I want to find what it means to me today, and I want to find what it means to me as a Latin American man. And I want to reclaim that and find the magic in the text again. So what we're doing right now is we are putting up the set, which is all the house. We're allowing the play to take place inside the foyer or the grand hall of a house, which sort of serves multiple settings. It can be the house in the corner, the large house of the spirits. It will also be the house of the country. It will also be the torture chamber where Alba is taken to. And the idea is that sort of it's a military appropriation of private property. So all of this is sort of coexisting with each other on stage at the same time. And what we're doing right now is like looking at the panels, as you can see. We're trying to see what works, and we've also been playing with projections. A lot of the story is told through very fluid use of time, and we're using projections that will be reflected on all the panels to sort of give us this sort of continuous sense of movement, and that will take us through 50 scene changes, 50 years of this country's and this family's history. Caridad is sort of, I think, one of America's, most gifted playwrights. Caridad, I feel, has an affinity for Allende's themes. Her plays are about the ghosts of cultures and migrations. They're about exile. They're about torture and words in particular. And so much of Allende's play is about words and writing and sort of how we use writing to inspire us, to tell stories, to shape history as well. And I think she was a perfect choice for that. We have a puppet. We have the character of Barabbas as a dog, a giant dog. In the novel, he introduces the novel. The first line of the novel is Barabbas coming to Clara, who is the lead of it. And we wanted to keep this presence. We felt that Barabbas represented thematically what we were trying to do with this story, which was tell a story about nature and about people's natures. Allende doesn't judge anyone. Everybody sort of embarks on this journey and this very difficult journey throughout. And they have magic powers, they have options, they have choices, but they are always true to their nature no matter how disastrous their choices may be. And so Barabbas to me represents something very organic, something very raw, something very grounded to a different place. And his presence is like, as this 6-foot dog that introduces themes of childhood, themes of escape, themes of the other, and it was so exciting to read that and realizing that most adaptations would not use him because he's ultimately not. He can be gotten rid of, and you don't need him to tell the story. But we wanted the magic of that, and it was a way for us to reclaim the magic and to find a way to tell the story in a way that was surprising. Denise Quiñones is playing Alba Trueba. Alba is the center of this story. He is being interrogated by the military for possible involvement in, again, some sort of sabotage or arms deal, we don't know. But ultimately, out of that experience, she finds a way to tell her story and to find her voice in prison. And her grandmother's ghost is the one who comes to her to teach her how to write and to teach her how to survive. Beatriz Cordova, who's playing Clara, she is Alba's grandmother, and she is the seer of the story. She is the center of the family. She is someone who has great power, but is unfortunately unable to use it. I think sort of she epitomizes what I love about magic realism, which is this sense of it's not fantasy, it's not sci-fi. Magic realism is something that is part of the everyday, and Clara can see the future, but can't change anything. The granddaddy of it all is Nelson Landrieu, who's playing Esteban Trueba. Esteban Trueba is sort of a monster character. He is there on stage for those 50 years. He goes through every possible change you can think of. He never reflects on life, he just goes forward. He's ambitious. His heart is broken early on in the story, and this is what ultimately sort of brings everything around. And he's sort of one of those characters who you love to hate. He's so monstrous and so charming and heartbreaking, ultimately. Alex Koch is doing my projections. It's the first time we've worked together, and so far it's been an amazing experience. We're trying to create a world of fluid imagery, and I hope it moves and works for everyone. Emily DeCola is designing our puppet Barabas, and she brings an amazing vision and energy to the undertaking, and it should be beautiful and magical. Robert Federico is doing lights, costumes, and set, and he sort of created this universe that is elegant and opulent and full of decay. David Lawson and I have been working together on many projects, so this is a new adventure for us working in Spanish, since he doesn't speak Spanish himself. And his work is always exciting and true to the story and adventurous.